Sorry, I was finishing a side story in Yakuza. I've been playing that a lot on my Steam Deck, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Hi everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm here. It's Friday. Welcome to tonight's stream. We're gonna be playing some TF2. This was not originally the plan. Originally, I was gonna continue 13 Pokemon tonight. But my friends weren't really super available tonight, so I was like, you know what, I'll just do fucking whatever then. And we'll worry about it next week. I've been playing through Yakuza 7. Because I know that's around when they started, like, my friends told me, like, the best starting point was either 0 or 7. Both because they're the starts of, like, different, like, arcs in the Yakuza series. And I started with 7 specifically because I was like, well, that's when it becomes, like, a JRPG. And I feel like that's, like, very easily understandable to me. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm, like, 30 hours in. I just got to the part of the game where they want you to raise 3 million yen for something, and I have been kind of rushing through the game, so this is like, on one hand, it's like, damn, I've been enjoying the story so much, I want to see more of the story, but at the same time, it's giving me a chance to kind of, like, immerse myself more in the world, play more of the side stories and such. It really is. It's been a fucking wonderful game to play through. And it runs pretty good on Steam Deck. There are some, like, there are some frame drops and such, but it's not like, I don't know. It's like how you would get, like, running a... It's not any worse than running a Switch game, to be honest. I have been doing the side quests. Again, this has been my opportunity to do some of the side quests. I just did the side quest where, the old homeless man gives the bookshelf to the kid, and it had a really sweet conclusion. It made me smile, and that's what I was doing, right before I got on mic. But yeah, it's a fucking awesome game. I would have to remember if I've met Nancy or not, because that name sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know. I could have just, like, read that on a wiki or something. I'll let you know. Anyways, though, for anybody wondering why I'm even playing, TF2 tonight, Valve themselves... Not any other developers have made a change to Team Fortress 2. Not like modders or anything like that. It's just like Valve updated the video game. They made it 64-bit. That's it. And I mean, listen. It's a change. It makes the game run a little better, which is appreciated because TF2... is not a very well-optimized video game. I mean, even on the super high-end PC, and even with this 64-bit update, I went from, like, I'm getting, like, 200 FPS. And, like, this is a computer where I could run the new Ratchet & Clank game. I remember, like, back in 2015, before they introduced, like, the biggest performance change I noticed was when they introduced, like, the Gunmetal update, where they had, like, all the different skins for the guns. That's when I noticed the performance of TF2 getting much worse. That update, like, knocked the performance way down. People used to be like, oh yeah, on my computer I used to get, like, 500 FPS. And I was like, damn. But 64-bit is a performance boost, which is appreciated. Maybe not as much of a performance boost as if they, like, got TF2 ported to, like, Source 2, but that's, like, a whole thing. I gotta be honest, I don't know if TF2 ever will get ported to Source 2. That seems like a hell of a commitment. And, like, it's not like CSGO, where they were making, like, crazy money off of it, and they had this huge player base, like, one of the biggest player bases in PC gaming. I mean, the people like TF2. I like TF2. Lots of people still play it, but... Listen, in the grand scheme of thing, a game that is, like, averaging, like, 70,000 players versus a game that's averaging 1 million players, it's not gonna be the priority. As sad as that is, it's never gonna be the priority. But it is interesting that Valve kind of put out this update at all. Again, this is like... It's very funny to say, this is the first update in a while that is just solely Valve, really. In terms of, like, an actual gameplay change they made. I mean, they've released crates. Man, when was the last time I played Control Points? Actually, as soon as I get into this Egypt map, I am seeing, like, I'm getting, like, 350 FPS. It's not nothing, for sure. It's not nothing. I think it is, overall, good for the game. It's just funny that this is, like, the first thing that Valve has really done in a while. And it took, like, what, like 6.5 years since the last big update that wasn't seasonal? I mean, we had the summer update last year, but Valve themselves kind of treated that like a seasonal update. It was still good. I was still quite happy that we got that big update last year, but, you know, I'm being realistic. I'm trying to be realistic. Also, let me turn off the damn game chat. I really don't need someone to say, like, a slur in chat, and then it gets broadcast to everyone on Twitch.tv. Although it is funny, I had a friend who wanted to play the 64-bit update on Mac, and it's not actually out for Mac yet, but it is out for Linux. And I'm pretty sure it got updated for Linux only because of Steam Deck. Which is crazy, because it's like, who the fuck is playing TF2 on Steam Deck? I'm sure that it's, like, not, like, 0% of people, but I don't know, man. If I'm playing TF2, I need a mouse and a keyboard. And, like, theoretically, you could get that with, like, a Steam Deck dock. But at that point, it's like, dude, just play it on a fucking computer. like, what the fuck? I wouldn't even waste my time at that point. I don't know. I'm definitely, like... I'm a little too, like, keyboard and mouse pilled when it comes to FPSs. Uh-oh. It's okay. Guys, it's okay. Had a little frame drop there. I forgot what I was saying. No, wait, I remember. Fucking... The lowest I'll go in terms of, like, playing an FPS on any other thing is that I'm willing to do gyro. I like gyro. I think gyro controls are fun. And they're fairly close to replicating what you can get on keyboard and mouse. Like, I have no issues with how something like Splatoon controls. And I played Doom 2016 for the first time on Switch. By the way, that's, like, still, like, a pretty solid port, from what I remember. Like, you're not getting crazy high FPS in that port, but it's still pretty solid. Same with the Doom Eternal port. Although Doom Eternal definitely has, like, more noticeable frame drops. By the way, tomorrow I will just be doing, like, another variety segment. I want to play the Splatfest that's going on. I have to choose Team Bear Cubs for the gays. Oh god, what's going on with my internet? Oh. Okay, it's back. Oh. That's a severed head. Dude, that dude is on Team NL. I've been catching a lot of NL streams in the morning. Like, sometimes I'll just go to his YouTube and I'll watch some of his, like, Balatro VODs, and I'll be like, wait, I've literally seen this before. I was there. I was literally fucking there. It's nice not worrying about my own stream as much, because I've gotten a chance to catch other streamers, and also hang out with friends. It's definitely, like, I don't know, it's been a good compromise for my life. Well, let it be known, I made this kind of change in my life before the Gaming Historian did. The Gaming Historian also announced that he will no longer be doing YouTube as his full-time job. Not that I was doing this as my full-time job, but I'm not gonna be that, like, you know what I mean. Hey, you know what I freaking mean. See, him, like, saying he's stepping away from YouTube as a full-time job, that actually leaves some impact in my mind. He's like a fucking old head. He's been doing this for 16 years. So, like, since 2008. If you've been doing YouTube since at least 2008, even if you do it as a job now, you're like an OG. You're like, you were there when that shit was literally just hobby work. And there was no way you could have made money off that shit. Which honestly makes sense why he didn't, like, say it as, like, I'm completely retiring. He was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be doing it as a hobby again. It's not gonna be my full-time gig. Fuck. I think we're boned. Okay, I'm very rusty on TF2. I haven't played in, like, a good, like, month and a half. Which is, like, one of the longer gaps I've had in terms of, like, not playing TF2. But I mean, it's also a game I've been playing for over a decade of my life. So, like, taking breaks every now and then, it's necessary. It keeps the blood pumping, it makes me, like, next time I play it, I feel like, oh man, I'm finally doing it again. The Robin emote. Robin is such a silly puppy. The puppies have been so silly. Robin's a little nibbler. When you like stare her in the face, sometimes she like growls at you a bit and then tries to nibble you. And it's like, why are you doing that? You can't be doing that, small puppy. Well, I don't know if you want to Uber me medic. I'm quite fucking rusty at this game. Bet she's getting big by now. Not really, actually. I think she might have already finished Stop Growing. I think she is, like, a year old at this point. Which is crazy, because she is, like, definitely, like, part German Shepherd. But she's, like, one of the smaller ones I've ever seen. Maybe she's mixed with, like, another dog breed that's, like, smaller. Are those snipers real? I think so. Definitely, like, the sniper that was on the other team with the Heatmaker, he was definitely real. He was real as fuck. I think from what I heard, and this was part of the reason I wanted to play TF2 again, is that from what I heard, the 64-bit update broke some of the bots. Now, you know, the bot creators will come back eventually, and will probably be back in the mines again. But right now, all seems well. All seems well. See, that guy's real. He's throwing P. That's how you can tell he's legit. He's a professional. Or some bot creators got doxxed. I mean, I don't necessarily endorse doxing, but I also acknowledge that sometimes, here's the thing. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And that's, like, mean as fuck for me to say. And I don't think they should have gotten doxxed. But, like, obviously, like, this is a thing that is, like, ticked off the TF2 player base for, like, 3 years. I don't know. I don't endorse it, but also, like, dude, I'm not gonna get super self-righteous about the bot creators either. I don't know. It is just a video game. It is just a video game. I don't know. To be fair, I would not wish the sicking of the entire TF2 player base at anyone. We winning. Yeah, I've been having a few frame drops here and there. Let's switch to engineer. I need to, like, readjust to playing this video game, and engineer is all reliable. The thing with Soldier is that he's, like, deceptively simple. So you think he's really easy to play if you haven't played in a while. But he's actually not. Because in your head, you're like, oh, I gotta be doing shit like rocket jumping and, like, direct hits and shit. And then you just play worse because you're not used to doing those things. This is the TF2 I know and love. This is the TF2 I know and love. Yes! We sliding. We love the civilian pose. Dude, I forgot. Fucking, I got an email about it. My fucking Mario Game & Watch got delivered, apparently. I saw that as, like, a Wario 64 deal. I guess they still have those in, like, a warehouse somewhere. And I was like, you know what? I didn't get it when the Mario anniversary happened. I'll get it now. It's a funny little knick-knack to have. I also apparently found some of the Zelda ones, but I don't care about Zelda 1. I like Mario 1. I think Mario 1 is a good video game. Legend of Zelda 1 is, like, It took me until last year to acknowledge that Ocarina of Time is a good video game. You're gonna have to give me a little longer before I hop on the Legend of Zelda 1 train. We killed them all and nobody was capping the point? Yeah, it's the original Super Mario Brothers on a little Game & Watch. It's cool. That was one of the things that they did for the anniversary. And it's funny that that seemed like the kind of thing that was gonna be, like, extremely limited. They found fucking stock of that before they found more stock of 3D All-Stars. 3D All-Stars is still maybe one of the more baffling things that's ever happened. Hey, here's our collection of the original Mario game, or the original 3D Mario games. You have 6 months to buy them. And, like, I don't know, it's such an insane business decision. Like, I don't subscribe, like, it doesn't make sense to me, the idea that Nintendo did that because they were trying to raise money for, like, the financial hoarder or whatever. Because it's like, fucking, it's Super Mario 3D All-Stars. It would have kept selling well into, like, this year if they kept it on store shelves. So I don't know why the fuck they made that limited time. Also, yeah, you could say a hot Mario take. I got all kinds of Mario takes. I don't know, my thing with, like, that, like, limited shit that, like, Nintendo pulled is, like, Nintendo is one of the few video game companies that, like, benefits a lot from, like, super evergreen releases. At least out of the big three, I would say Nintendo has it the best in terms of their games being, like, very evergreen. You, like, hear about their games, like, breaking sales records way after their, like, initial launch periods. Which does not happen, really, with, like, Xbox or, like, Sony stuff. Not that it, like, literally never happens, but, like, the vast majority of, like, I don't know, a good chunk of the amount that FF7 Rebirth, for example, will sell is gonna be in that initial launch period. And honestly, the biggest boost it's probably going to get after that is, like, the first holiday that it's available, and then it's gonna be whenever the Steam port comes out. And that's, like, that's the best they're doing. I mean, fuck, there was an analysis saying that the initial sales for FF7 Rebirth were disappointing, but, I mean, they're trying to compare it to a video game that came out when the pandemic just started and everybody was inside playing video games, so, like, I don't know what they were expecting. Also, I don't even agree with that, V. I respect the opinion, I don't agree with it. I honestly think Mario 64 is, like, it might be, like, it might still be my favorite 3D Mario, honestly. I say still. It might be. It's, like, really fucking good. I love 64. 64 is, like, for me, it is the 3D Mario game that is the most fun to 100%. Which is not nothing, because I usually don't even like 100%ing games, but Mario 64, it's like, if I play it, I want to 100% it because I think it's that fun. 64 is fucking awesome. You wrecked that dispenser, man. You know, maybe both of us shouldn't be in that exact spot. We're gonna win. Dude, one of our fucking scout is godlike right now. He's playing scout on defense. Whoa. Me and the medic holding the point. No. Ah, I think we lost it. I will say, I think Super Mario World is definitely better than 64. But Mario World is also one of my favorite video games of all time, so that's not really fair to say. Not that 64 isn't also up there, but, like, Mario 64 is, like, maybe top 50. Mario World is, like, top 3. I've said it many times on stream. The top 3 video games for me are Pokemon Emerald, Super Mario World, and this game. And those are the like fundamental video games to my life. Games that I could like sit down and play at literally any time and have fun and be happy. Well, if you're gonna be building my Senti for me, I'll build the dispenser back here. I'm gonna say thanks to that engineer. I don't know. I'm sure my Mario opinions are scary to some people. Like, Super Mario 3D World is one of my top ones. And, like, Super Mario Galaxy is a definitive third. Which I think if I said that to, like, a normal person would be really scary to them. Because not that I think... I don't know. Maybe you could get away with that, actually. Maybe you could get away with saying Galaxy is, like, your third favorite 3D Mario. But then they find out that Mario Galaxy 2 is ranked lower, and that's where they get scared. Nope. You need some fucking help, alright? I am definitely, like, I think my least scary Mario opinion is probably, honestly, that Sunshine is my least favorite 3D game. I feel like that's, like, a normie take that you could get away with. Now, if you told that to a GameCube kid, they would think you're fucking crazy. They would be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Super Mario Sunshine is peak. But I'm like, listen, I get it. It's got a lot of cool environments. It's very cool how, like, every level is, like, interconnected in this, like, bigger world. Some of those levels are just ass, man. They're just, sometimes you're at the top of the world, and sometimes you're a chuckster. I don't know. One of these days I do have to 100% Sunshine on stream, though. It was a promise. Find another server. I'm not very good at control points. My brain is not attuned to control points. I understand payload. I'll keep it in the queue anyways, though. Thanks, trying to get Jack in Box, brother, for supporting this map. Oh, we go heavy. We go heavy. Dude, we got Master Shake in the game. That milkshake doesn't leave Meatwad alone. Because how heater. True? True? Thinking of a how made me think of fighting games, and it's like making me think about Street Fighter 6. And it's like I had fun with Street Fighter 6 World Tour. Do not misconstrue me. I don't know if I'm ever returning to it. I gotta be honest. I think like I already hit a point where it was getting like a little repetitive. And, like, imagining doing that for, like, another, like, 7 hours at least. It's enough to drive one mad, I think. Especially when I'm already not very good at that game. So it'd be like, it's not even like I'm doing everything first try. I don't know. It's a fair warning. But we'll always have Wife of Bigfoot in our hearts. And I mean, she is in the Tomodachi Island. One of these days I gotta return to Tomodachi. Maybe I'll try and wait out till the game mod comes out, but at this point it's like, man, who knows? Who knows? I don't know if that's been in, like... I don't know if that's ever finishing development. I feel like it would have happened by now if it was. We need someone else to take up the mantle of trying to make gay people in Tomodachi Life. There's gotta be, like, one genius programmer out there. I gotta be honest also, in general, I still, like, definitely feel like Pokemon Black 2 is, like, the best possible conclusion for that kind of, like, era of the stream. Pokemon Black and White 2 is just really good. I think, like, also, the plan is still, like, mostly to not stream as much. Yeah, you can hear my puppies sarking. They're so loud. My plan is to definitely not stream as much still. But I think, like, maybe I consider, like, maybe once a month, like, dedicating a week to, like, a random playthrough. And maybe it doesn't have to be done all in that week, but, like, doing that just as, like, you know, having some fun with a game that I probably wouldn't play otherwise. I mean, it's the only way I'm gonna finish the Poke Marathon at this point. Although, like... I will be doing Pokemon X and Y when I fucking finish 13 Pokemon, because I really don't need to think about playing Pokemon X and Y while I'm also dealing with a nightmare dimension. It should be sometime this year, though, the Pokemon X and Y playthrough. It'll definitely be before Legends EA. I'm not gonna let that shit happen after. Alright? We need to fully immerse ourselves in the world of France. A very nightmarish dimension. I do think another, like, relatively, like, I wouldn't say big stream plan, but a project to work on. I want to do the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Randomizer this year. That's, like, something I definitely want to do. Because the randomizer has gotten even crazier, and I did a playthrough of it on my own and had a lot of fun with it. If you guys don't know what the Mystery Dungeon Randomizer does, I mean, obviously it randomizes, like, the dungeon layouts and, like, the music and that kind of shit, Pokemon you would encounter, all the things you would expect from a randomizer. But it goes one step further in the funniest possible way. So, like, you can randomize the dungeon names. Which, okay, that sounds kind of obvious. Here's the thing. You are given a list of the first words that can be used and the second words that can be used. And you can insert anything onto these lists that you want. So, like, you could have, like, the first word be, like, woof, scary, blue, and then the second words like mansion, dungeon, house, and then and then it randomizes between the lists and you get some shit like blue dungeon. You know these words. And it kind of was like I was teaching, like, a fucking kindergarten class with that explanation. I promise I didn't mean to sound that condescending. I'm just, like, that's basically how the dungeon name randomizer works. You have a list of first and second words you can use, and it'll randomly pull from either of those. Ah! And he gave me the taunt kill. Disrespectful. But also I respect it. I respect the disrespect. You can also get random chapter names, which I posted quite a few of those on my Twitter. I got some really good chapter names. Again, it's just like you can put, like, a bunch of shit in a list and it'll randomly pull from that list. It's fucking great. And then the quiz? Yeah, that's what that thread was. It was literally randomized chapter names that I got. And to be fair, like, all the chapter names were stuff that I put in, but they also still got me. I have to admit, some of them were still a gut punch. I think my favorite one might be the fucking, like, stone tablet with the chapter name, "You Such a Fucking Hoe." I love it. Thought I was making an ARG. I think there's only ever been one point in my life where I almost made an ARG. And it was, like, based on a video idea that I never did. I think, like, I'm trying to remember. This was back in 2016. And I was still, like... It was, like, probably early 2016 because it was Undertale related, and by that point, I was still interested in doing some things Undertale related on YouTube. And I came up with this idea for, like, a game theory parody where I was going to posit the theory that Jerry Seinfeld is Sans from Undertale. And that all the characters from Seinfeld got turned into characters from Undertale. And I don't remember all the details, but I actually think this is one of the few videos that I scripted, so I think I might actually have the fucking script for this stupid video somewhere. And one of the things I did for this video was that I was gonna do like a vague ARG thing. And I set it up to the point where there's a Tumblr blog out there called Is Jerry Seinfeld Dead? And it was just, like, it's one post right now that just says, yeah, dude, he died in 2009 and was replaced by a robot. And the whole thing was supposed to be connecting Jerry Seinfeld's death to the beginning of Homestuck, because Homestuck is connected to Undertale in that Toby Fox was a composer on Homestuck. Can you believe I didn't make this shitty video? This video would have done flames. It would have gotten, like, 15 views. If the demo man wasn't there, I was, actually, unironically, I believe I could have killed the heavy. It might not have been actually true, but I believe it in my heart. If that demo man didn't intervene, I maybe could have popped enough shotgun shells into that heavy to kill him. And it would have been, like, one of the greatest TF2 moments of all time. That's the only, again, that's the only time I ever attempted, like, anything, like, ARG, like. Because I think, like, I think part of the reason, like, not that I think, like, ARGs are all bad, but I definitely remember being slightly soured on them around that same time because, like, the stuff with the Binding of Isaac Rebirth where they were doing the ARG for the Lost, and then, like, the Lost just got data mined, and Nicalis and, like, Edmund got pissy about it, and I was just like, man, who fucking cares? Who give a shit? I mean, if you want a recent example of an ARG that kind of makes me go, like, whatever about the concept of one, the Inscription one that everyone hated. Pretty much everyone told me that the Inscription ARG was fucking dog shit. I don't know. I felt like a chicken without a head. When, like, I remember there was the fucking Tumblr, like, porn bot ARG. Do you guys remember that? It was like someone got DM'd by a porn bot that just said, like, hey, P-Brain, can you teleport? I also didn't know what was up with that. There was some, like, biblical shit going on. There was, like, angels and shit being mentioned. And I was just like, I don't know, man. It's like, it started, it's like all, it didn't need to, like, go past, like, hey, P-Brain, can you teleport for me? Because that's, like, as funny as it's getting. It might have been. That might have been the name of the blog. Also, hi. Hi, Procrastinating Spectre. Welcome. See, nowadays, you couldn't even do a Tumblr porn bot ARG. Because, like, Tumblr porn bots are just, like, so... I guess they're not that rampant. Honestly, I'm conflating it a little bit with Twitter. There definitely was a bigger porn bot problem on Tumblr at a point. But now, like, Twitter is the website I use that has the bigger porn bot problem. It's just gonna go in a cycle forever, man. Every website is gonna have a random porn bot crisis. Although it's been getting on crazy on Twitter. It, like, started out, like, people would just say, my pussy, in bio. But now it's just evolved to, like, they're just showing their pussy in the replies. Like, if you just go to the hidden replies of, like, a popular tweet, you'll probably see, like, a bare-chested lady. can see that also. The Tumblr porn ban is a weird thing. I think it was bad, to be clear. But it also, like, definitely, like, it was another, like, big shift in the culture. It's definitely one of those things where I, like, distinctly remember it kind of, like, shifting, like, the culture of the website. I think the first time that I experienced that on Tumblr was, like, when DashCon happened. Like, in my mind, DashCon happened, and that kind of ended the era of, like, the fandom on Tumblr. Not that Tumblr wasn't still, like, big with fandoms, but, like, in general, like, that was no longer the peak content on Tumblr, you know? That wasn't the shit that was always doing, like, insane numbers. I would say it became the funny man era. And then after that, you get the porn ban. You know, most people are tired of the Tumblr funny men, because it turns out they weren't actually that funny. And now the current era of Tumblr is kind of just... I'm not getting out of this chair era. That's the current era of Tumblr. It's the I'm not getting out of this damn chair era. Like, I don't know, man. At this point, there's, like, nothing that could get me to leave Tumblr except if they, like, banned me. And I don't think they have any reason to ban me. I don't, like, post a lot of, like, a lot of the people that, like, get banned from Tumblr. And I think this is a bad thing, to be clear. A lot of people who get banned from Tumblr tend to, like, make more risque jokes than me. Or they tend to, like, you know, shit-talk the staff. And I don't think they should get banned for that. But... at the very least, it makes me think, like, well, there's no reason they'd have to ban me then. And if they did ban me, then it's probably, like, I don't know, they'd fucking ban someone for, like, fucking sneezing, dude. But, I mean, it is something I consider, because, like, the recent bans have been, like, a lot of trans people on Tumblr. And I mean, Tumblr's always been bad about banning people. It didn't just start with a lot of the trans people, like, being banned. I mean, back in 2014 when, like, Ferguson happened, a lot of, like, black bloggers who were talking about it would get, like, banned from the site. And you also have people getting banned for, like, Palestine and stuff, like... It's a we didn't start the fire kind of thing. I'm helping. Seems the Tumblr experience nowadays fluctuates between seeing some cool, fun stuff being shared around and seeing some dire stuff regarding Tumblr X users. Mm-hmm. I mean, I very much keep to myself on Tumblr. I keep myself, like, me and, like, a few friends. Like, I've unfollowed, like, people I don't... Like, I rarely unfollow people on websites. They have to be, like, fucking, like, called out for being the scum of the earth for me to, like, unfollow people. I mean, part of that is also, like, on Twitter, here's the thing. Sometimes I'll just mute someone. Because I'm like, you might be alright, but right now, I don't want to see your posts. And then I'll unmute them later if I feel like it. Or I'll just forget about it for like 3 years. You can't really do that on Tumblr. It's like, listen, if someone's posting stuff that's pissing you off, you just gotta unfollow. And it's like, I don't know enough people on Tumblr where I've ever gotten in trouble for unfollowing someone. I actually remember, like, around the time the porn ban happened, I remember, like, a mutual unfollowed me because I was spam reblogging a blog based on Goomba Got Back by Gotcha Goomba. It's just a bunch of random fucking Goomba Got Back posts. I reblogged like 20 of them in like 5 minutes. And like this random mutual of mine who I don't speak to anymore unfollowed me because of it. The what? Okay. Do you not know about Goomba Got Back? Because it's really fucking funny. I don't know how they didn't detect me there. Dude, what the fuck is happening? I'm the stealthiest motherfucker in the world! What is happening? How did I survive that long? Heard the name Gajin Goomba, but you're not aware why everyone hates him? He's just kind of like a annoying, like, weeaboo guy. He's not, like, the most offensive guy in the universe. He's just a guy that's, like, annoying. And he used to be on, like, the Game Theory channel with MatPat. But one of the craziest things he ever did was Goomba Got Back, which was an animated music video he made with the Living Tombstone. The Living Tombstone provided the instrumental for this track. And it was like a music video that was basically like, obviously it's a parody of Baby Got Back, but with Goombas. And it was basically like Gajin Goomba, like, making a statement that was like, oh, it was like, me and my wife decided on the design for the Aki Goomba character. Alright? We both love the big Goomba tits, and we will not be getting rid of them. Which is just, like, very funny. Also, yeah, the Living Tombstone did that track. The Living Tombstone is partially responsible for Goomba Got Back. Yeah, his wife, Aki Goomba, has Goomba tits. And a Goomba ass. It is his wife's Goomba Sona. And it's like, I don't know, in a modern context, I can acknowledge, it's not really problematic or anything. If you, oh, hold on. Sorry, every time the damn phone rings, it, like, says the caller ID out loud. It's not, like, problematic for his wife to wanna be a stacked Goomba, I guess. It's just, like, Gajin Goomba himself is already, like, kind of a weird guy, so it's just, like, easy to poke fun at the fact that he made this ballad about Goomba ass. Oh my god, I'm not dead. I'm feeling just some of the rust is starting to come off, I think. Oh! The fucking crits, though. Oh, I got double donked in spawn. Dude, you wanna know some fucking crazy Pokemon Go news for you guys who don't, like, follow Pokemon Go at all? They added, like, new body types. And it's, like, not even, like, a couple. It's, like, you can, like, actually adjust, like, several, like, things on your character now. Before, you had 2 body types in Pokemon Go, and it was man or woman. And that was it. But now you can, like... You don't just have to be, like, a skinny man or woman. That is true also. We need Miyamoto to comment. Does Goomba have back? Maybe if they let Paper Mario games stay the way they were, we would have had a Goomba with back by now. Because Goombella, listen, there's like Goombella perverts online, but I don't respect that. And she doesn't have back. No matter what the Goombella perverts online want to tell you, Goombella does not have back. And I will not subscribe to the idea that she has back. This guy got a Tim Buckley decal on his sign. You're so lost. I don't know. I don't know if there's any way I can make this, like, not insane. It's alright. I'm done talking about Goomba ass anyways. I got a haircut today. It was mostly to trim the dead ends. They put, like, some, like, gel in my hair. And, like, I gotta be honest, I kind of like the frizz more. I'm, like, a little crazy. I'm, like, Miss Frizzle. I kind of like the frizz more than having, like, gel in my hair. That's my honest opinion. That's all I had on that. I mean, it was a little wild going to the haircut place, because I did see, like, a frequent customer at the deli there, but because I'm, like, always, like, I don't know, I guess I'm not very recognizable, and I didn't have my hair in a ponytail, so she did not recognize me. Which, I mean, I could live with. I don't know. Being recognized in public for my job would be a little scary to me. Dude, can you imagine being, like, a YouTuber and you, like, are trying to go to the store and someone's like, dude, I remember you from Top 10 metal pipes to beat the shit out of your dad with. I would be fucking terrified. I misread that guy's name as Fruity Haze for a second, and I thought I accidentally committed, like, a homophobic hate crime. Good thing I didn't. If I was a former Screw Attack member and someone publicly says to me how they remember me from the top 10 hottest foods in video games, I don't know what I'd do in that situation either. I don't know, I would love to, like, interview, like, a 1 million+ subscriber, like, YouTuber who's been in the game for, like, at least a decade, just to ask, like, how many times they've gotten, like, recognized randomly in public. Because I'm genuinely curious, like, how big that phenomenon is. I'm sure it also just depends on, like, the scope of your audience, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like you could be a James Rolfe type figure and probably not actually get recognized that much in public. Because, I don't know. How many views does the highest viewed, like, AVGN video have? Like, maybe, like, 10 million? 15 million? You know, that's a lot less people than there are on planet Earth. But, like, if you're, like, Mr. Beast, I feel like probably everybody has seen what Mr. Beast looks like. Anybody in the world could tell you what Mr. Beast looks like. Kind of like the Tony Hawk effect. True! Gotta consider how age factors into that, too. I didn't think about that. If, like, most of your popular stuff was, like, old shit, you probably would get Tony Hawked. Honestly, I bet that the Tony Hawk effect has hit a lot more people than they've let on. I feel like people are too embarrassed to admit that they've had, like, a Tony Hawk incident happen to them. Especially if they're a YouTuber. I don't think a YouTuber wants to believe that they could end up like Tony Hawk, which is not recognized in public. Mr. Beast would have to drive on butchered meat iron trucks like the Beatles would do post-shows. He, like, might actually. I don't know. That dude has, like, a fucking scary amount of subscribers. I don't think, like, anybody in the world should have 22... Or, not 22. Like, 200 million subscribers. I think that's a ridiculous amount of, like, clout for anybody to have. He's already, like, the richest YouTuber. What does he need all those subscribers for? I think, like, once you reach, like, 1 million subscribers, like, YouTube should, like, lock that shit. Like, thread locked, you can't subscribe to this person anymore. You can still watch their videos, but you will not be notified of them until, like, someone else, like, leaves. I think it would help, honestly. I'm, like, a big believer. Like, I don't know. It doesn't, like, it's not literal, but, like, I've experienced this so many times where I feel like a lot of the times when a YouTuber reaches, like, 1 million plus subscribers, like, one of two things happens. It's either their fan base gets too annoying for me to want to engage with. This happened with Jerma. I think Jerma is, like, a really chill guy, and I enjoyed watching his stuff, but, like, the fucking Jerma chat is so fucking annoying. And I mean, any big Twitch streamer chat is gonna be, but, like, the Jerma one, because I was already a fan, was, like, inescapable. But there's also option 2, where the person themselves, gets, like, canceled for something. That seems to happen a lot with YouTubers that I watch that had, like, over 1 million subscribers. Yeah, it's giving me trust issues, honestly. I don't know, I feel like for a lot of people, like, getting that big on the internet, it drives them insane. It does something to their brain. Also, I'm with you, V. I would never want to be, like, super popular online. Feel like Jerma's chat probably thrives on a more minute view count. I don't know, it definitely was more fun to engage with Jerma and, like, his chat when it was, like, a lot of people like me who grew up with, like, his old videos, you know, and, like, watched, like, his, like, TF2 videos with, like, Stir and Boo and Italics. Feel like he could probably have some chill and fun 30 viewer streams. Fuck, we had to be there in, like, 2012. It could have been us! We could have been in those 30 viewer streams. I also, and like, this is not Germa's fault, it's just the hand he was dealt. Germa's chat kind of set a bad precedent for Twitch in general. I feel like because of the way, like, Germa and his chat interacted, like, a lot more people decided that being playfully rude with streamers was the way to go. And, like, that shit always annoyed me so much. Like, I don't like being playfully rude with chat. I like to have a good time. I like to have good laughs. I like to think of myself as a very, like, level-headed, reasonable person. It's very hard to get me to be like, oh, what the fuck? Why would you say that chicken nuggets are good when actually they're mid? Like, I don't... Bro, what do I look like? But you definitely, like, I've definitely noticed that occasionally you'd still get, like, playfully rude people who think they're, like, being, like, haha, like, we're like, buds. And, you know, a real bud would tell you, like, your voice is, like, kind of annoying or whatever. And it's like, dude, be for real. Feel like retiring was the right choice for Germa, because having to deal with that any longer seems like it would take a toll. I definitely think it was, like, the right choice for him. And, like... I don't know, I don't have to tell you this, but, like, Germa has done more for the streaming space than, like, maybe any other streamer has in, like, the past 10 years. Nobody has been able to do the high-effort shit that Germa has been able to do. And I still believe that, because, like, honestly, the other high-effort shit I can think of is, like, I don't know, it's kind of, like, too self-serving. Like, listen, this is not me saying this as, like, haha, bitter, like, small streamer. I'm saying this because it's honestly what I believe. I could not care less about some shit like the Streamer Awards. One interesting thing was seeing more of Northernlion stuff around because he went completely under your radar until as of recent, and you had some fun with those clips. Northernlion is chill. I like watching his stuff. It's, like, very obvious that he's just, like... He, like, goes off on stream sometimes, but for the most part, he's just, like, a normal dude. He has a wife, he has a kid. He's not, like, you know, some crazy, like, haha, like... weird guy. He's just like a dude. And he's very good at being just a dude. And, like, yeah, he'll get snappy at chat, but, like, also, if you had, like, a big Twitch chat, you would probably get snappy at them, too. To be fair. Northernlion has seemed to lean more into being an entertainer as of recent. I feel like part of that is mostly just that he leaned more into being a streamer. Because, like, most of Northernlion's old videos were, like, Let's Plays made specifically for YouTube. But he doesn't really do those as much. And, like, you can kind of still tell the difference. When you watch, like, a Balatro, like, VOD of his, versus, like, one of his, like, fresh, like, Balatro, like, just made for YouTube, there's, like, a very different vibe. And I feel like that's mostly where, like, the difference comes in. Is just that, because he's doing, like, streaming more, he kind of has, like, a different, I guess, relationship with how he does commentary. Because, obviously, there's, like, the interactive nature of it. I still miss React Court. The series where he would just, like, read r/am I the asshole threads. That's the worst thing that AI ever took from us is that we lost React Court because Northernlion was just like, yeah, Am I the Asshole is just like 90% like AI stories now. It's so fucking depressing. You used to have to put effort into putting bullshit online. Nowadays, you could just ask ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, make me a fake story where a husband sounds like a dickhead. It's fucked up. We lost so much. Oh, that's a real scout. Real scout found in the wilderness. Nature is beautiful. Why are we kicking this guy? I guess. He built a sniper. I don't know if he was a bot. We might have found our first bot of the night. Let me try a little Demo Man. I'm a little better at Demo Man than I am Soldier. Simon Belmont also a bot? Yeah. Also, good night, V. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Dude, this guy got fucking blurred. Been talking about random streamers that I've been watching. Again, because I mostly catch streams in the morning, I've also been watching, like, quite a bit of Picaspree. It's been fun seeing that guy have his, like, PNG tuber arc. I think he's currently, like, doing sub-goals to try and get, like, a full 3D model. And honestly, if Picaspree became the first VTuber I ever watched, I could live with that. Or maybe not the first one. Maybe like the first one I actively watch. Because I've definitely watched, like, VTubers before, but not, like, really, like, actively follow any of them. Oh! I died. Do I really want to try and play sniper? I kind of do. I gotta get my aim up. And the only way to get your aim up is to brute force it. Honestly. Cause that was like a 5-second delay in terms of, like, shooting to guy on screen. Oh, fucker. The heavy figured out my tricks. He's too good at the game. If you were, like, playing sniper and a heavy starts, like, crouching over and over to try and get your aim off, it's over. At least if it's over if you're bad like me. Alright, I ain't good enough at the game to be able to beat a trick like that. Oh! I was doing better as Soldier. I'm the only one pushing the cart. Dude, the Crit Spoon as a name for the Market Gardener kind of goes crazy. I play Soldier still. Google Keep. Google Creep. Sorry, I'm having fun pressing keys. Ah! I got that Kritzkrieg and I got like 2 people. Oh, brother. To be fair, they did have an Uber. I probably would have gotten more people if they didn't have that Uber. I'm trying to think what else I've been up to. Dude, the other day I got my first gold stake win in Balatro. Granted, it was with the checkered deck, which is, like, one of the easier decks to play, because it's just, like, you just flush forever. But I was still quite proud of myself. I know for a fact I made very good use of Wii Joker. I know Wii Joker was one of the ones that got me to the end. Honestly, I wouldn't mind streaming more Balatro. Still need to check that one out, to be honest. I understand. Balatro be good as fuck. Even with me being so focused on playing through Yakuza 7, sometimes I'm just like, man, I need to get a good Balatro run going. Sometimes the call of the cards consumes me. Oh! I do think it's funny that I got a gold stake victory before some of the more common achievements in that game. I don't know, I was just really dedicated to getting the highest stake win with the checkered deck, because I was like, this deck is the easiest shit in the universe. Like, 26 hearts and 26 spades? Are you kidding me? It's free. Because it really is, like, flushes are, like, king in Balatro. As much as sometimes I like to try and play other hands, at the end of the day, flushes are king. I had a really good run going recently with the Telescope deck, where I had, like, a full house run going, and then I got to the last ante, I got to the fucking boss, it was the very large blind, and I couldn't do it with the full houses. Even though I had upgraded full house multiple times, it's not like full house synergized with any of my jokers particularly well. It just wasn't happening. It would have been different if it was a flush, because flushes are so damn good. I let that happen. I let the Fog Pyro go crazy. Oh, I got a heavy. That's not nothing. It's not great, but it's not nothing. Dude, I'm kind of mad as fuck also. I want to stream something off the PS3, but the fucking HDMI splitter that I bought, I didn't really check properly on Amazon. The one I bought originally was like a fucking scam. Like, I bought it, I saw that the review score was like pretty high, so I was like, oh, it must be like pretty good. No, somehow they like fucking tricked the system into like putting it with reviews in the same category as like fucking like some movie. Like, I don't know, it was like Groundhog Day or some shit. So when, like, after I got scammed with this HDMI splitter, and I couldn't get it to work, I, like, checked the reviews, and it was, like, a couple of more recent reviews were like, yeah, this listing is a scam, and then the other ones were like, wow, I love my copy of Groundhog Day. What a great movie. Thanks a lot. I didn't even know you could do that on Amazon. That's, like, fucking crazy. That's like a next level scam. I guess I got what I paid for. It was like $8, which seems like really cheap, even for something like an HDMI splitter, but I'm still like, come on. I saw this shit with like 4.5 stars. That should be an indicator from Amazon, hey, this shit is like really trustworthy and is a good product. You should not be able to game the system like that. Now I know for all, like, stuff like that, I'm gonna have to check the fucking reviews to make sure I'm buying a fucking HDMI splitter instead of fucking Alvin and the Chipmunks 3 Chipwrecked. Oh, I got crit. You know, some may say I keep getting crit before I get my chance to pop off. But in my mind, it's like, these guys are popping off before I get my chance to crit. Never stop gambling. Oh, he got me. That was the perfect hiding spot. Or not really hiding spot, it was the perfect way to dodge my rockets, because I was like, well, he's falling down, right? My brain didn't process that he landed on, like, a fucking gas thing. What are those things called? You know, the things outside the houses where you can check the gas. Or, like, electricity. Thank you. I don't know why you did that, but thank you. See? See, that's what I'm talking about! Never stop gambling! Get that easy crit. And then it's gonna be alright. Oh! Dude, I gotta say, their engineer's going crazy with the Widowmaker. I feel like... You know what, I was gonna say, I feel like I can never get the Widowmaker to work properly, and that's like, that's a self-report. That's me saying, yeah, I don't know how to aim. Alright, I had fun with that demo, man. That was a sweet moment. Those are the kind of interactions you live for. Honestly, for how shit I feel like I've been playing, I could be doing worse on the leaderboard. At least I'm not bottom scoring. You know, you gotta look for the caveats in anything. Ubering the Widowmaker engineer is crazy, but it's kind of working. The crazy thing is, it's kind of working. I honestly think this demo man that planted his ass on the last point is kind of cooking for their team too. It's actively distracting away members of our team. That was a penis. That was a full penis on that guy's side. I have to delete the VOD now because someone just had a full penis on their side. Oh my god. Okay, real quick, I'm going to stop streaming for a second so I can delete this VOD because a guy had a sign that had a penis on it. And then I'm gonna come back. I'll be right back. That was really cool. I'm glad that happened. Fucking jump scared by this dude's sign having a fucking penis on it. It was literally the Pingus loadout incident. It does remind me that, like, Pingus was, it came back in a big way recently. And it feels like, I don't know, I talked about it on the last stream, and now it feels like it's already gone. I feel like the world already moved back on from Pingus. Why did I get disconnected from Twitch? Can I be honest? When that disconnect happened, I actually, like, a little bit in my gut, I was like, did I, like, fuck up deleting the VOD? And did Twitch, like, detect that there was a penis on that guy's sign? Like, I was straight up like, did I get banned from Twitch.tv because of that guy's sign? Yeah, it was an actual penis. Hi, Rox. Hello. Great time for you to join in. Ah! I had to restart my stream because of that. You know what? I could go for a little Badlands. It's not the first time that something like that has happened, but I think it's the funniest time. Because the other time I remember something like that happening, where, like, fucking, like, porn just gets shown in TF2, because some people are so fucking crazy with the things they'll put on those signs. I think the other time, it was furry porn. Like, if I'm remembering correctly, it was, like, a furry girl with, like, her bare chest out. Is it running better now that it's 64-bit? Yeah! I would say it's, like... I've definitely noticed getting high FPS counts. Like, even higher than I was getting before, because I have a decently beefy computer. But even now, I'm noticing, like, on this map, I'm getting, like, 300 FPS, which is, like, fucking crazy to me. I don't think I've ever seen TF2 in 300 FPS in my life. It's a ridiculously high number. To be fair, that's not, like, gonna be on everyone's computer. But at the very least, on my, like, decently high-powered machine, it's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. It's funny, because high FPS counts are supposed to help you with your aim, and I still suck balls. So, actually, high FPS counts are a scam by big FPS to convince you to buy a more powerful machine. It's actually fine that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet runs at 10 FPS. This stream sponsored by Game Freak. Dude, the real Postal dude is running around with a katana. Is someone gonna do something about this? It's not gonna be me. I'm scared of that guy. Game Freak fucking lied about adding the 10th class, so we can't support them anymore. Boycott! I still think Game Freak lied is like one of the funnier things that ever happened. I don't know, like, I definitely, like, Pokemon Sword and Shield should have been better, and they could have been better. You could say that about most Pokemon games, but, like, the fucking, like, cultural perception around Sword and Shield, where it was, like, hashtag Game Freak lie, hashtag Dexit, all that shit was just, like, fucking funny to me. The fucking tree that everybody hated. Dude, that tree, it's, like, so fucking funny to me that, like, a low-resolution tree was, like, such a big topic of discourse. Like, it's an ugly-ass tree, but who cares? Apparently, people cared a lot. And it's crazy to me that people cared that much, because I gotta be honest, I don't even think Sword and Shield look that bad. I think, like, I definitely think the wild area was, like, ugly looking, but I honestly think, like, everything else in Sword and Shield, like, at the very least looked nice. It didn't necessarily always animate super great, but at the very least, like, all the environments and stuff, like, looked nice. They were cartoony. They popped. There was a hashtag Dexit. Okay. I have to explain that a little bit. For anybody who was not engaged in, like, Pokemon, like, discourse back in the day. Dexit refers specifically to the Switch Pokemon games, not including the National Dex, which was basically, like, literally every Pokemon up to that point being in the game. Like, Sun and Moon, or rather, Ultra Sun and Moon, were the last Pokemon games that included literally every Mon that existed up to that point. And that was a very contentious thing, because, like, you know, they said, like, oh, we needed to, like, improve quality, we needed to, like, improve the animations. But people weren't really seeing that with Sword and Shield. And, like, listen, to be fair, I kind of really didn't have that much. Like, the animations, like, yeah, they had more unique move animations, but, like, I don't know, man, is that enough? It's still, like, most of the moves just look like a different version of Tackle. But I'm also, like, here's the thing. And this is, like, not even just, like, in terms of, like, fucking Game Freak's current schedule can't support having literally every Pokemon in the game. I think that even if Game Freak was given, like, the proper amount of time to develop the games, I think a Dexit was bound to happen at some point. I just don't think it's reasonable for a video game to have, like, 1,000+ playable characters, even in, like, an RPG setting. Like, at what point does that just become, like, fucking impossible to do. Like, Pokemon games are already, like, plenty, like, replayable. That I don't think you need, like, an infinite amount of Pokemon to, like, keep that going. Come around to it ultimately because your further regional decks having a unique identity for each region either way. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, to be honest. I like that, like, getting, like, 100% in the Pokedex in each game is, like, actually feasible. Because it's not like, oh, you have to get the, oh, if you want this Pokemon, you have to have the Pokemon Coliseum bonus disc. Oh, in this one, you need to own Fire Red. Oh, but this one you need Leaf Green. Oh, but Emerald is required for this mon. Oh, but for this one, you gotta have Sapphire, baby. And you know what? While you're at it, it's a little easier to get this one in Ruby. That's just Gen 3! That was when there were less than 400 Pokemon! Like, it was so hard to navigate getting all the mons, and now each game just having their own decks with their own Pokemon, it's, like, actually fucking feasible to catch them. And it's like, all you, like, it's honestly what they probably should have done more in the first place is just make all the Pokemon easily accessible instead of being like, well, if you want this guy, you gotta get this game. Literally bought Pokemon Channel so you could get a Gen 3 Jirachi. God. Kids got it lucky nowadays. If you want Jirachi, you just have to own Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Which are, like, listen, you could say whatever you want about their quality. They're some of the cheaper Pokemon games to get. They are, like, they consistently are some of the cheapest Pokemon games you can get. It's so good they're making Mythicals much easier to obtain nowadays. When are they gonna re-release Victini? I'm sure they probably have done it once or twice, but I want it to happen right now, because I like that guy, and he makes me smile. But no, yeah, I'm with you 100%. I mean, you had Mew and Jirachi in BDSP. Manaphy, too. Have they done, like, a re-release for Celebi? I don't actually know. Because that's like one of the early ones. Technically the Crystal Virtual Console release, but you can't buy that anymore. Did they have the Celebi event in the Crystal Virtual Console release? What the fuck? I didn't know that. They put it in? That's crazy. Shit. Maybe I gotta get on this hacking 3DS stuff. Not that I would ever do that, Nintendo. You know. Put the gun away. That's wild, though. That's fucking awesome. Actually. It's a meme, but it is actually as easy as the meme it says it is. It's gotta be easier than, like, trying to figure out Pretendo on Wii U. I mean, now they just have, like, the servers you can connect to for Pretendo, but I don't think with those servers you can get the Miiverse stuff, which is mostly what I want Pretendo for. I don't know why that shit was impossible for me to find out on Wii U. I gotta do it at some point. I definitely gotta homebrew the old 3DS. I think it's just one of those things where part of the reason I haven't done it is because, one, I do like to collect games physically, and there's not a crazy amount of 3DS games where I'd be like, well, I can't buy that one because it's too expensive. It's like, one of the ones I could think of off the top of my head is like Kid Icarus Uprising. And like, dude, I'll just play that on my Steam Deck because I can play it with a control scheme that isn't evil and made by witches. Yeah, Kid Icarus Uprising is like, I think like, I don't know how much it is loose, but I think complete in box it's at least a $100 game. And listen, you're not gonna get me to buy a $100 game. It could be like the greatest of all time. I'm not buying a $100 game. We're not at that point yet. Yakuza 7 being as good as it is making me contemplate Yakuza Infinite Wealth, even though that game is $70. That's the first game that's moved me to the needle of $70. You're skipping some steps there before we get to 100. It's not gonna happen, man. Only $70 game you bought is Persona 3 Reload, remake of your favorite game of all time, so you had to. I respect that. I respect that. I'm definitely, like, I've accepted. We lost the battle against $70 games. It doesn't mean I'm gonna go out of my way to buy a million $70 video games, but I acknowledge it. We lost. We lost this one, lads. However, if they make me buy a $70 video game and then they're like, buy the $40 DLC as well, you're fucking crazy. That's why I'm not picking up something like Tekken 8. $70 video game with a shit ton of DLC already? Nuh-uh. It's not happening, brother. Even if I've heard that game has a funny story mode. Oh! I did go on a 5-kill streak, though. That does feel good. Dude, I'm on the leaderboard for highest kill streak. I didn't even buy Tears of the Kingdom for $70. I remember I had, like, a shit ton of, like, leftover GameStop credit. So I just used that to buy Tears of the Kingdom for, like, $40. So win-win. GameStop probably lost $20 from that deal alone. Doesn't GameStop not even buy used games anymore? No! They definitely do. But the GameStop I go to has a lot of, like, used stuff. And they, like, get stuff in decently frequently. That would be fucking crazy if they didn't buy used games, because that's, like, the only way they make money. Like, GameStop barely makes any money from, like, selling new games. Most of that money goes to, like, literally everybody else involved. Trying to hop away from me? For a while, they didn't really do retro stuff, though. That was, like, a big thing. Hate buying retro games. It pisses you off. Like, apparently it's your fault that you didn't have money when you were 5 years old. Me when I didn't buy Earthbound in 1995 when it was, like, $80 instead of $800 because I was fucking non-existent. Dude, even the Earthbound prices have gotten even crazier. That game is more accessible than ever, and still the cartridge price just keeps going up. I think the last time I like checked the Earthbound prices, I saw them going for like 500. Like, Earthbound is one of my favorite video games of all time. It is a video game that I'm never gonna own physically. Unless I buy, like, a reproduction. Because it is just too expensive. And it's a fucking shame. Bought Pokemon Emerald in, like, 2017 for $40, and now it goes on for $220. It's crazy. Started playing PS2 games on console, and you've mostly been getting burnt CD copies because they're usually cheaper. I think that's fair. I'm like, again, I like physical media a lot. I'm like, nothing beats the experience of, like, putting a game in a system and just, like, loading it up, playing it for a while. I don't know. That's, like, a special experience to me still. Sure, it would be more convenient for me if I had, like, 1,000,000 digital copies of everything. And granted, I do have digital copies of quite a few things. I mean, I can't buy physical games for fucking Steam, but I don't know. If I'm buying a console, I want to have, like, physical games. I think that is fair also. I think the main thing is, I mean, for CD-based consoles, honestly, it's not as big of a problem. You're not gonna really run into this. But I know with a lot of consoles that are, like, based on cartridges, cartridge games tend to have worse, like, kind of, like, bootleg copies, as it were. You know, some of them don't have, like, proper save batteries or whatever. Or the hardware is just kind of junky and is glitchy. Mimi. Mimi with the hands. Ended up splashing out for a good GBA flash cart, and it was one of your best purchases in recent memory? Dude, the GBA has it bad for fake copies. I don't agree with the prices going up as much as they have, but part of the reason the prices have gone up as much as they have is because there's a lot of junky, like, bootleg GBA cartridges out there that, like, don't save properly and shit like that. Honestly, I think the luckiest thing for me is that I kind of found my niche, like, collecting games for, like, the specific generation of games that I grew up with. Like, the Wii, Xbox 360, and PS3, and, like, DS have been, like, my go-to for, like, collecting stuff. And all of that stuff, for the most part, is still, like, decently, reasonably priced. Even for, like, the more, like, not sought-after games, but, like, the common games that, like, everyone wants, but might not, like, have like a quadrillion million copies sold, they're all still for like decent prices. Like, I don't know. I think I saw like Mario Kart Wii for like $30. Most of the 360 and PS3 games are decently priced. Yeah. I mean, honestly, even Wii games don't go that crazy high. There's definitely some DS games that I can think of that are a little fucked up. Like, again, any of the fucking Pokemon games. But for the most part, like, the Wii prices, I mean, they also went down. Notably, the Wii prices went up a lot when the pandemic started, but they have come down since then. Like, I think it's much easier to find a copy of, like, Wii Sports. People were selling, like, Wii Sports for, like, fucking $40, $50 when the pandemic started. How much is Wii Sports going for now? I'm actually looking this up because I'm curious. Okay, granted, like, 30 is still higher than I thought it was, but... Let me check price charting. Give myself a better idea of how the prices changed. You know, I didn't consider that looking up Wii Sports on price charting would give me literally every Wii Sports game. Like, bro, I don't care about the price of Virtua Tennis 4. I'm sorry to all the Virtua Tennis 4 fans, but I really could not give less of a shit. Okay, so according to price charting, like, Wii Sports peaked at, like, $30 when the pandemic started, and now it's around, like, $23. So honestly, right now, there might just not be any good listings on eBay right now. Either that or all the top ones are actually fucking shit. They're actually fucking shit. Also, I could see it. I know for sure Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn are pretty expensive. That would be interesting to look. I could check after I die. Which could be coming up soon. This Heavy is, he's mad at me. Path of Radiance is one of your big white whales? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to own that game. That is complete in box, $250. So, even the loose price is $180. Jesus Christ. How much is Radiant Dawn? Radiant Dawn loose is $90, and complete in box it's $110. Which is, like, still not a price I would pay. But that's literally half. That is exactly half a Path of Radiance price. Oh! My bad. Dude, everybody's joining in the game in, like, the last minute. I gotta play Path of Radiance. Not that I've never played it before, but I got very far in it. I think I got to around, like, chapter 23 or something, and then I just stopped. Because it was 2015. It was a very specific time in my life. In 2015, where it was, like, the summer, and, like, I had a bunch of random shit downloaded to my computer, but my computer wasn't getting Wi-Fi, and I couldn't figure out how to fix that, and I was too embarrassed to ask my dad to help. So, like, for a month, I just didn't have Wi-Fi, and I was playing Path of Radiance, and, like, OG Binding of Isaac. And then as soon as I got internet back, because I had been so addicted to Isaac, I was like, I'm gonna buy Isaac Rebirth. And it was like, it was fucking over for Path of Radiance. I was never finishing that game. I put like 200 hours into Rebirth. I have a very funny gaming journey. Sometimes. It's even crazier, because that happened at, like, the peak of my Fire Emblem phase. I mean, I still like Fire Emblem a lot. Saying that, like, oh, I don't like Fire Emblem anymore. No, I do. I played Engage. That game's sick. But, like, 2015 was the year that I got into Fire Emblem from playing Awakening, and I really bought into the Fates hype. Worst mistake of my life, but I digress. And yet still, but I was able to play Isaac, and Isaac, like, took me out of that for a brief blip in time. And I woke up one day with 200 hours in Isaac, and I was like, oh my god. Honestly, I partially blame Afterbirth, the DLC coming out, like, not leaving the greatest impression, and then Afterbirth Plus coming out after that and also not leaving a great first impression. It's fucking crazy that Isaac Rebirth had 3 expansions and only one of them was generally agreed upon to be good. I don't think people hated the original Afterbirth. I think it might have just been, like, a little disappointing. Because, I don't know, like, Greed Mode is fun, but it's not, like, the craziest thing in the universe. And, like, it was, like, a lot of, like, I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. But that Afterbirth Plus was, like, straight up stinky. Afterbirth Plus was really bad. Exact same thing happened to you when you got Awakening in, like, 2013 or 14 and became mega obsessed with it and got so hyped for Fates, and they got you to buy the most ass game ever. Not only did they get me to buy one of the most ass games ever, I bought, like, the season pass and, like, all the different paths before I even finished the game. I poured so much time into Fire Emblem Fates. I had, like, 400 hours in that game in, like, 4 months, and then I woke up one day and I was like, wait, this game fucking sucks. It was like, I don't know, it was like, and, like, this is gonna be crude. This is gonna be crude. It's like post-nut clarity. It's like, I spent 4 months of my life in a fucking haze, and then I woke up, and I was ashamed of what I had just done for the past 4 months of my life. You know what's even fucking crazier? I actually think, like, that's not even a bad comparison, because June of that year, when I stopped playing Fire Emblem Fates, I reconnected with a bunch of old friends, I met up with my ex, I, like, actually started talking to people. Oh my god, Fire Emblem was fucking ruining my life for a bit. What the fuck? I literally woke up one day after playing too much Fire Emblem Fates, and I was like, I can't have my life continue like this. Oh. honestly, I think part of it was my ex. My ex didn't do a lot great for me. We were also, like, dumb teenagers, so it's like, whatever. But one of the things she did for me was go, like, yeah, Fates is ass. Fates is, like, a bad video game. And then I was like, wait, you're actually, like, right. That game does kind of suck. And it wasn't even, like, it wasn't a moment of me, like, trying to, like, connect with her or anything. It was literally just, like, everything she was saying about it. I was like, wait, you're literally right. This game fucking sucks. Oh, man. Really is such a specific point in my life, too. That was when I was a TF tuber. Dude, thinking about the TF tuber days is crazy. That still feels like such a long period of my life. It was like a year. There was like a year of my life where I was actively making TF2 videos. It was when I was like fucking 15. But it did roll around to this stream eventually. You know, I like to think all things come full circle. Unboxo Man still exists. He's allowed. He was originally started because of my TF2 videos. Also, I only just now read what you said, Procrastinating Spectre. That's my bad, first off. About LSD Dream Emulator. LSD Dream Emulator is, like, so fucking cool. It's, like, fucked up that that game's as expensive as it is. And you know what's crazy? I remembered when I got my PS3 recently, I was like, oh man, isn't LSD Dream Emulator on, like, the PS3 store? I think it got delisted, because I could not find it. I, like, looked up LSD Dream Emulator on the PS3 store. It didn't exist. They took it off. Or maybe it was only on the Japanese store, and I can't get it. Which is also fucked up, because I want to play it. But it's either it got delisted, or it was only available on the Japanese PlayStation store to begin with. And they also have Vib Ribbon. I don't know. God, I hope they have Vib Ribbon. I would love to play Vib Ribbon. Shit. Because the PS3 store is still very much up. I was able to buy Jammer Lammy. I still have like 20 bucks on my PlayStation account, which is very funny because I don't have any other PlayStation. I would only be buying games on the PS3 store. Maybe some games are also on PAL Region stores, maybe. I don't know how easy it is to, like, access those stores on, like, an American PlayStation. I'm, like, a little spoiled by the Nintendo Switch making it so easy to access, like, other regions, like, eShops. It's, like, honestly, maybe one of the, like, most un-Nintendo-like things is them just kind of, like, not region locking the system to a point where you can just very easily access other countries' eShops. I love sticky spam. We love sticky spam. He doesn't know I just went into the water. Well, I'm not completely bottom scoring. I'm only dangerously close to bottom scoring. There's a difference. You know what? I tire of these games. Huntsman Sniper. What the fuck? Why did I launch like that? What happened? Did you see that? It was like I got air blasted into like a fucking rocket that barely did any damage, and it like launched me into the fucking stratosphere. Holy shit, I went to Mars. Hi Mimo, welcome. It's been good. Game runs great. I saw a man's penis, so I had to reset my stream. But I've been having a good time. Yeah, no, there was an incident where earlier in the stream I saw someone's sign and it straight up had penis on it. It was like a full penis. I get into these situations so often. It's fucked up, because I'm like the only, like, person who streams TF2 and is like, you know what, I'm gonna play on casual servers. And you know what? I'll never change my ways. What's life without a little risk? As they say. As I say. Heard someone say the switch to 64-bit has been killing off most of the bots. Yeah, I haven't noticed any bots, really. There was some guy kicking guys in, like, another server I was in. I don't know if they were actually bots or not. I was, like, I'm just kind of conditioned at this point. If a vote kick starts, yes. Which is maybe not my due diligence, but I was just like, I'm not taking any risks. Is TF2 finally back? It never left. You may have forgotten about this toy, but it never forgot about you. The goth wave is like the name of like a strange gay woman online. I can't tell what the goth wave's icon is. Can we like friend request the goth wave live and figure out if the goth wave is like a really strange woman? And I mean that in an affectionate way. To be clear, I'm using very strange woman in an affectionate wave. Think the goth wave is an Elder Scrolls or Morrowind thing. They had goths in that. Can anybody who's into the Elder Scrolls confirm? Goth bitches in Elder Scrolls? It's the Goth? Wait. There's a character named that? Wait. I feel like I just got told Santa isn't real. 500 ping. Oh! I can't do anything. My team, we're gonna lose. No, wait, we're gonna win. Never mind. I'm gonna be a contrarian. I'm gonna vote for Brazil. Going to a Harvest server is literally like, Harvest for dinner again. Oh, we're back? And we are live with Tayzonde Games. That news really was so grim it killed the stream. You guys want to hear more grim news? You know how the Nyan Cat guy was like doing NFTs at like the peak of like the NFT craze? He's still doing them. I randomly saw the Nyan Cat guy in like the comments of like a post on Twitter, and I like checked his account because I wanted to know what he was up to. He talked about like an NFT sale like literally yesterday. Huh? They're all getting banned. I thought it was Jover, but actually we're so back? Huh? That's crazy. I've never seen anything like that. They all got banned at the same time. There were like fucking 15 bots, dude. Okay, there's still one who survived. How the fuck is this one bot still alive? All of his fucking comrades got shot down like dogs. This is the power of TF64. I'm just... how did this one bot get by? It has the same name as everyone else. But this guy is, like, still alive. Oh! Well, I'm gonna leave because I don't even want to really play Harvest, but that was interesting as fuck. Joining a server with a shit ton of bots, only for most of them to be gunned down except one. Like, I don't know, that feels like once in a lifetime, man. We're never gonna see that shit happen again. We lost before I even played the video game. This is the power of TF64. Dude, can I tell you, Mimo? I just saw you open Tabletop Simulator, and I immediately thought, like, shit. I gotta continue development of Morgue Game, the fan God Game expansion I was working on. I have not done that for a hot minute. And it wasn't for any particular reason. I guess it's just because all at the same time... Oh, you're playing with toys! Yay, yippee, yahoo! Yay, yay, yay! I think it was one of those things where probably any stream project that wasn't 13 Pokemon took a backseat for a bit, and even once I got that off the ground, I hadn't really thought of many other stream projects. Because that's, like, the big one right now. I mean, it's 13 Pokemon. Playing 13 of those shits at the same time. Dude, can we figure out how to make a God Game card based on that? How would you make a God Game card based on playing 13 Pokemon games at the same time? Open 13 instances of Tabletop Simulator. If your computer crashes, you instantly lose the game. It could be fun. It could be fun. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to doing it on stream. Cause, like, I've done a little Morgue Game dev on stream before. I don't know. Am I bored of TF2 yet? It's getting there a little bit. It's getting there a little bit. I like TF2. TF2 is not necessarily a thing at this point. It is very rare that I spend more than a couple hours streaming TF2. I mean, it's a special occasion. We're 64 bits now. 64 bits. 32 bits. 16-bit. 8-bit. 4-bit. 2-bit. 1-bit. Half-bit. Quarter-bit. The wrist game. That was my impression. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more impressions like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel where I sing the Family Guy intro, but if every character was Peter Griffin. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about, like, what part of TF2 this is even gonna be when I upload this to the archive and getting really scared. Like, I'm getting really scared thinking about it. Yeah, I kind of figured I'd get sniped. The spy did get revenge for me, though. I appreciate him. Start 12 other simultaneous matches with your opponent. Wait, you're kind of cooking. You're actually kind of cooking. Free up storage space. Your computer's running low on storage space. You visit storage settings to free some up. Fuck, hold on. What the fuck have I even downloaded recently that would take up that much space? I have less than a gigabyte left of storage. Dog, I gotta delete some of these VODs. No, don't open it up. Okay, I deleted some VODs. That saves me some storage space. I definitely know, like, if we do some card development on stream, I want to make a card based on Lou from Guitar Hero 3. I think I want to make him a boss, and I want to have, like, the thing he does is, like, you roll a d6, and then he does one of the effects that is supposed to mirror, like, the effects he does in Guitar Hero 3. Like, you either get the whammy or, like, the broken string, that kind of shit, and, like, translate them into God Game effects. And you have to deal with that until you fucking kill that goober. I may be the only person in the universe who's like, man, we need to make a Guitar Hero 3 card. You need to make a Guitar Hero 3 card right now. I didn't do no damage to that guy. I did hurt him. He wasn't over the moon about it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. TF2. TF2 moment. Oh, it's crazy. Twitch is, like, fine right now. It's literally just TF2. What's happening? I cannot move in TF2. Oh? Where am I? I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Oh my god! I can move! I can breathe! Oh my god. That was a hell of a stream spike. That was a hashtag moment. This guy's got the Chungus gun. That's so freaking epic. Please! Please! My hashtag awesome internet moment. I truly am live, just barely. Nope. Oh! Man, the team's doing good at least. I think we gonna win this one. Yeah, I think after this game, I kind of just want to make some cards. I'd like to make some more game progress. Slow as it may be. But it's like, what else am I gonna do tonight? The Splatfest isn't until tomorrow. I can't do Splatoon tonight. Because then if I do Splatoon tonight, there's a chance I might not want to do it tomorrow. I can't even be mad. I deserved that. I know what I did. Alright. Well, give me 1 second. Let me get a nice music playlist going.